I want to talk about the one hard and fast rule that I have in my academies. Now, I'm not that traditional in certain senses. That's one of the things that appealed to me about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the first place. If you think about when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu came onto the scene with the first UFC, it really kind of smashed some of the ideas that we had about the martial arts and what made effective fighting. And along with that, it took away a lot of the trappings and some of the formalities and the things that would have made me a little bit more hesitant about that. At Half Gracie's Academy, where I came up, we were fairly informal. Like, there was a level of respect that you got from the blood, sweat, and tears that we shed on the mat. Nowadays, I like to say that everything that I would do is based on common sense and common courtesy. Two things that I don't think are that common anymore, but if you have common sense and common courtesy, then I think we're going to get along just fine. Again, in today's society, we're coming in, we're volunteering to train, we're adults, we're trying to get better. So I look for that common sense and common courtesy. However, I do have a hard and fast rule that I share with everybody that comes in, and it has to do with submissions. Now, I think that submissions are, say, like firearms. They're things that you can't take lightly, okay? Let me say it this way. All submissions are designed to cause injuries. They're not designed to cause tap outs. They're designed to cause injuries. Everything from your basic cross-collar choke to your straight arm locks to the kind of taboo ones such as heel hooks to the very banned ones such as spinal locks and neck cranks and whatnot. Every single submission in the arsenal is designed to cause an injury. Okay, they're not designed to cause the tap out. The tap outs to their kind of cry uncle, say like I've had enough before that injury occurs. But the submission itself is designed to cause an injury. Okay, I can put this a horrible way. I'm a black belt, therefore I'm an expert at submissions. Therefore I'm an expert at injuring people. I don't like putting it in that way, but I have to kind of lay out the seriousness of what a submission actually is. So we have to take these very seriously. We have to have a level of responsibility on this. So the hard and fast rule is any submissions that's applied in my academy during training has to go with enough technique and control that your partner has the opportunity to tap out before they're injured. And that's all I ask, is you give them that opportunity. Look, I know that, take for example an Americana. I know that if I grab your arm, if I twist it back in a certain way, then I'm going to cause an injury. I know that for a fact. Again, I'm an expert at jiu-jitsu, but what I'm not an expert at, what I don't necessarily know, particularly with Americanas, is where that point of injury is actually going to occur. Okay, some people are here, some people are here, and some people are rubber men that it seems like you can wrap their arms around their body twice in a row. But believe me, everybody has a breaking point. Everybody has an injury point at this point. Okay, so it's up to my opponent or my training partner in this case to let me know when that injury point occurs. Okay, so if somebody gets injured in training on a submission, one of two people is at fault on this. Number one, you catch me in a submission. You're going ahead and bending my arm back right now. You're working for that Americana and you're being careful about this. You know the rule. You're going to go ahead and give me the opportunity to tap out. And I refuse to tap out. I'm like, I'm a black belt. I'm an expert at submissions. You're not going to get this. I'm Gumby. I can squirm out of this. And my shoulder pops. Okay, that was my fault right there. You gave me every opportunity to tap out on that. I didn't take it, and I got hurt as a result. And quite frankly, that'll happen to you, to me, at some point in your career. Okay, whether you're having a great battle and you're being a little bit stubborn, you're kind of pushing the limits, or maybe you're trying to be technical and figure out this escape and seeing exactly where that point is to occur and something goes wrong, I'm willing to bet that 99% of people within jiu-jitsu are going to take an injury that way at some point. And I'm not happy about it, but it's the reality of the situation. Okay, most of the times you take that, it hurts you, but it stops, and you go ahead and you recover, and you learn not to push it to that limit again. Okay, so I do consider that part of the jiu-jitsu experience is, quite frankly, you're going to get hurt at some point. However, at the same token, if I was to catch somebody in submission or vice versa, and I go ahead and crank it, and somebody realizes like, hey, I'm in America, and boom, they just go ahead and hit that as hard as fast as they can in training, that would be a dick move in training right there. Okay, you don't want to do that to your training partners. You didn't give them that opportunity to tap before they got injured. And at least in my academy, that would be a huge no-no. Okay, and aside from that, let's look at it from this standpoint. Okay, you cannot get better by yourself in jiu-jitsu. Okay, and I'm not even talking about that you need competent instruction, although that's a huge part about it. At the very minimum, you need an actual body, you need a person to go ahead and work with to get better at jiu-jitsu. Sorry for all of us that have been under lockdown. I've been doing the solo and dummy training right there, but we find that this is more true than not. You need a competent training partner to work with, or you need a training partner to work with, preferably a competent one. And we've really come to learn to appreciate that. Look, if you develop the reputation that you're going to come in and just hurt everybody that you train with, either through aggression or sloppiness, eventually nobody's going to train with you. You're going to either injure all of your training partners or nobody's going to want to work with you. And therefore, your own limitations are set at that point. You can't get any better without working with somebody right there. There isn't this old school traditional standpoint like, you can't find the secret scroll, go up to the mountains, train in secret, and then come down and kill the ninja clan that slayed your village. Okay? It doesn't work like that. At the very least, if you're up there in the mountains, you need somebody else to work with, at least get that physical body worth your timing, etc., etc. Okay, that's the negative way of looking at it. But on the positive tip of it is like when we walk into an academy, particularly one of my academies, there's a certain camaraderie that you build. Okay, again, submissions are dangerous things. I'm literally placing my life and limbs in your hands in a lot of cases, okay, or my opponent's cases or my partner's cases right now. So there needs to be a trust factor that builds up with there, okay? And it's a very real trust factor that you're not going to injure me on this and that we're here to get better. We realize that there's a possibility of that, but we're careful, we're taking our precautions, we're doing what we need to do. Again, we're giving each other the opportunity to tap out. And through that, you get that camaraderie in jiu-jitsu, that friendship under firepower, so to speak, that you develop some real bonds in right there. Because if I can trust you with this, maybe I can develop a friendship or a trust with you in other senses too. And it's that kind of community standard, that community get together is one of the things that makes jiu-jitsu so wonderful for us. Okay, and that should be a universal rule, but I'm telling you, that's a hard line at my academy right there. But again, it's common sense and common courtesy. There's obvious reasons for that. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you on the mat.